Hey, what's up, boxing fans? This is the Rope a Dope Report. I've actually done two videos, the Carl Froch, Andre Durrell, in a different part of the cruise. It's a 24-hour cruise that we're basically going out. Like I said before, I'm in Sweden visiting my mom. She's actually holding the camera. Say hi, Mom.
Hi.
And then I did the Andre Ward and Miguel Kessler. So now it's time to do the fight, which I think is definitely the tightest fight there is in the first round, and maybe even besides the Carl Froch Kessler fight. Although you could argue that Arthur Abraham and Taylor are more experienced, especially Taylor. Let's talk about Taylor. For those who think that maybe he doesn't deserve to be in this tournament, or he's coming off knockout losses. If you look at it, and actually Dan Goossen said this in the press conference, that his last 10 fights have been against champs, currently or former champs. So he's fought Bernard Hopkins, Winky Wright, Kelly Pavlik, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. The last 10 fights. How many fighters can really say that? The last 10 fights. Well, no one can, I don't think anyone in this tournament can say that. Well, yeah, no one in this tournament besides him can say that. Arthur Abraham has fought some solid fighters, but nothing like the resume of Taylor. And really, he's only lost to two guys because he tied Winky. He probably lost that, but technically speaking, I know people will say he lost maybe one to Bernard Hopkins, and I can understand that. But as far as it goes, he lost twice to Pavlik, and obviously his last one to Froch. And all he had to do, he had it in the bank. All he had to do is make it 14 seconds, and he would have won the fight. So you got to respect Taylor. Just because a guy gets knocked out, you can't get all lost and, he's just going to get knocked out again, because he actually, if you look at his first loss to Kelly Pavlik, he got knocked out really brutally. Came right back. Didn't take you can walk by if you want. He didn't take an easy fight after that. He went right for the rematch. And you got to respect a fighter like that. And he actually fought probably one of his best fights in that fight. He lost to Pavlik. It was a very tight fight. I guess you could say Taylor won it by a round or a draw. If you think Taylor won it, I can see that. I thought Pavlik hurt him in the 10th or 11th, so that was the difference of the fight. But as far as Taylor goes, you got to respect him. And he gets off to fast starts, and a lot of people say, like in his last fight, that he was fatigued in the end of the fight. And I think in the 11th and 12th round, when he was really running around, then he got more fatigued. But I think it's mental fatigue. And when he starts to get hit, then it all comes back to him, those knockouts. Obviously, his last knockout and the knockout to Pavlik. I just think that's actually what's messing with him. I don't because he looked pretty good shape in the rematch against Kelly. And he looked in pretty good shape against Froch. So, like I said, he did look tired in those last two rounds. But it was more Froch being more effective than it was Taylor being tired. I think he's mentally a little messed up from it. And when things don't go his way, he kind of reverts to his old style. And we know his old style, he starts to drop his hands a little bit. He's got a great jab. He moves pretty good. Because like I said, the reason why I don't think it's all stamina is because go back and watch the fight. I don't remember if it's the 10th or 11th, but at the end of the round, he was just swinging crazy, and he was putting his fists in the air, and everyone was like, oh, okay, maybe he's not getting tired. So he definitely is a he's like an A-level, A-, B+, B fighter, like right in that range. Some nights he's looked like an A, some nights he's a B, but he has the deepest resume, win, lose, or draw in the tournament. That's hands down. Now, is he going to change his style? He definitely changed his style against Pavlik in the second fight after being knocked out. But it's tough to say. I think he is what he is. I think he can fight smart here and there. It was weird because when he had Froch hurt, he actually kind of reverted to try to be smart about it and not go for the knockout when he probably should have went. But we all know in the first Pavlik fight, he went for the knockout and kind of punched himself out because he was so tired. And he ended up getting knocked out later. So that was in the back of his head, too. So you never know exactly about Taylor. I think, and let's talk about Arthur Abraham. He took Edison Miranda's a couple years ago. We obviously know he has heart because, that the jaw that he had, all messed up, broken jaw. He got through a whole fight with that. He got through all the headbutts from Miranda. So he's fought a lot of solid fighters, but he hasn't fought that elite style, or not style, but elite type of fighter. And I know Jermain Taylor is elite, and then, like I said, B level right there. But he's definitely the best fighter he's fought. I think we can all agree on that. And here's what I like about Arthur Abraham, and I'm actually leaning to him. Obviously, I'm not going to predict the winner of the whole tournament because this is just a one-fight prediction. Let me see how I'm doing on time. But I like Arthur Abraham because he's very patient. He keeps the hands really high, and he's got good hand speed and a lot of power. And that's where I think the difference is. Taylor, actually, in the press conference, I think he kind of said some stuff that I was like, really? Like, you're already mentally saying that? He was saying that Abraham's just a brawler. He comes to you to fight. You know, and actually Andre Durrell said it smarter, you know. He's got the best defense besides Andre Ward in the whole tournament. And Andre Ward, we don't know all the way his defense yet because he hasn't faced top fighters yet. So we don't know if that defense is good against subpar, good average fighters to above average fighters. You never know until he gets in there with somebody really good. So Arthur Abraham, I think, the difference in this fight, and it could go either way. And like I said in another video, I think my last video, if Jermain Taylor does win this fight, I believe he will win the whole tournament. Even though I know he's been knocked out twice and all that, but if he beats Abraham, the guy who has really good defense and power, that'll give him the confidence boost I think he needs. But I do see Abraham winning this fight. In fact, I kind of see Abraham winning it. I'm not going to say the whole tournament yet, but that's kind of my, it's not a sleeper, but that's kind of my take on it. So I think Arthur Abraham, with, like I said, the power to back up Taylor and the defense. It's not easy just to get on him. And he's a very patient fighter. All of a sudden the punches, you know, he may fight kind of so-so style. I'm not going to say boring, but like a so-so style for like 4 rounds. And you can come down here if you want. And then all of a sudden, bam, and all of a sudden dude's on the ground. So he's a very smart fighter. He doesn't try to rush things, but he's aggressive when the time comes. He's a very smart fighter with defense. So I'm going to go with Arthur Abraham. And this fight's going to be in Germany. So we got one in hopefully Oakland, but definitely in the U.S., one in Nottingham, England, and one in Germany. And they're just mixing up the sites, so that's really cool. And I'm just glad that this whole event is going on. So I got Abraham in a possible late KO, but I think I don't know. It might be. I think it'll be a decision because I think that Taylor will come back stronger, much like he did in the Pavlik fight, and fight smarter, you know. So, but I have Arthur Abraham in a late KO or TKO type thing, or just a decision. So anyway, this has been the Rope-A-Dope edition. The Rope-A-Dope Report. I am your host, Chris Carlson. Peace.